Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the Legacy of Nightmares Bombardment build. This is the build that is basically used by the Crusaders to push as high as, I know non-season is about 94. I play non-season. I don't know seasons where it stands right now, but it should be around that too. Um, the build relies on some specific items that I'll explain to you, um, and some optional items that is ideal if you can get them, but if not, it's not a problem. Um, yeah, I'll show you some gameplay afterwards of a quick 70, and yeah, so I'll show you essentially what the items are. So I'll start with the cube right now. Cube would be the Mortal Drama, which doubles the number of bombardment impacts. This is mandatory, doubles your damage output. The armor slot is you can vary either Aquila Cuirass or Heart of Iron. I have Aquila Cuirass that's equipped. I'll get to that later. And Heart of Iron gives you 300% of your vitality as Thorns. Um, I'll explain to you that concept a bit later on. Convention of Elements, that's basically mandatory. Gives you 200% buff whenever physical is active, like right here. For the items, mandatory items is obviously the Legacy of Nightmares, as you can see here. If you can get them ancient, that's even better. Um, this one here is pretty standard. I got Strength Vitality, not too shabby still. I'm pretty happy with the secondary physical, which is nice for the defensive stat. But obviously, ideally, what you would want is strength, area damage, cooldown reduction, and thorns. Good luck finding that. If you can get it, that's great. I would prioritize cooldown reduction. I'll explain to you a bit later, why that's the case. Um, and if you can get area damage, that's even better. So my second one, second ring, I actually was able to get area damage on it. Not too much area damage, but just enough, so that's fine. I'll take it. And reroll the crappy, useless stat and got cooldown. You don't need critical hit chance or critical hit damage, since this is a Thorns build, and Thorns does not crit, by the way. So just for you to know. For the other items that are pretty much mandatory, if you can get them ancient, the Hexing Pants and Mr. Yan. If you can get them with Strength, Vitality, and All Resist, that's even better. And if you can put some Thorns on those, that's GG Hexing Pants. So good luck finding that. But it's doable, but it's really hard. For the boots, I would recommend illusory boots. If you're doing bounties, hopefully they'll drop ancient. Um, Stats here are pretty good, so strength, vitality, all resist, and ideally armor, or in this case it was movement speed. That's fine. And I was able to put some bit of thorns, maximize my thorns on my character, which is what you want to do with this build. Um, for the belt of the Trove, I wasn't too lucky since didn't get that 15% health, but I'm happy with the basic stats, which is strength, vitality, and all resist, and a 6 second. And then what you would want to do, if you already have thorns on them, that's obviously better, but I didn't have thorns, I had something else, so I just re-rolled it for thorns. I'll get to the thorns in another part, but I'll explain to you which certain items actually get better thorns and which don't have as much thorns. So you would want to maximize those items. I'll get to that later. For the armor slot, either obviously Heart of Iron or Aquila Cuirass. This one here I pretty much got a GG one with had strength, vitality, and bombardment, and thorns. A nice roll on thorns. So that obviously is the one I'm going to be using. For the helm, there's no other option here. Leorix is really mandatory for the cooldown. So what you will want is strength, vitality, life percent, or all resist. And the secondary would be Thorns if you can get it. I had prioritized vitality since it gives me more toughness, and also I'll get to that part later on why vitality is important. For the gloves, I would say the best ones are the St. Andrew's Gauge. I'll get to that a bit later when I'll show you the playstyle. But this gives you a shield that protects you whenever an elite attacks you, which really helps you survive whenever you're focusing on an elite. And what you will want is strength, vitality, area damage, and cooldown. These were the best ones I had with defensive stats, and I had some cooldown on it. And if you can get some thorns, that's even better. Okay, so for the shoulders, what you would want is any ancient shoulders. Some ideally would want strength, area damage, cooldown, and bombardment. Um, I would prioritize area damage and bombardment and cooldown if you can get all of them accordingly. Cooldown would be first, and then area damage or bombardment would be second on an equal scale depending on how much area damage you have on your character. Um, this really helps in order to maximize your damage output. Um, for the weapon, there's a couple variations here. Some use Swift Mount for the steed charge duration that's increased. Um, some use Sunkeeper for the elite percent damage increase, and some use Doombringer. So I got a pretty decent, actually a really nice Doombringer with area damage on it and a perfect roll on physical. So I kept it, and what you would want is strength, vitality, area damage, and cooldown on your weapon. So what you would do is try to get the best of either three weapons that I just mentioned with these stats. So strength, vitality, area damage, and cooldown. And well, obviously the Doombringer rolls with physical, so that's an even better damage output that I can rely on whenever I'm casting Bombardment. For the shield, some use Lidless Wall, some use other shields, more defensive shields, which is fine. Lidless Wall, I think, is one of the best since it rolls with an elemental damage on it. Obviously, you want physical. Um, and what you would want is strength, vitality. In this case, I have all resist, but you will want cooldown if you can get it to maximize your cooldown reduction. But it's not that as important, and I'll get to that a bit later. And in this case, I rolled Thorns. For the gloves, for the bracers, some use Nemesis. Some use Strong Arm, some use whatever they have. Strong Arms because you do knockbacks whenever you're casting Condemned Vacuum. There's a knockback effect that is applied, so that allows you to increase your damage output by up to 30%. Or also whenever you're using your steed charge, sometimes the enemies are knocked back, so that's even better with that steed charge. So I've seen enemies being knocked back. This does not work on the Rift Guardian, so be aware. Depending on the level, I have some Ancient Nemesis that I use also, but these are just GG, I think, based on the stats, so all defensive. So what you would want is physical, strength, vitality, all resist, and if you can get Thorns, that's even better. So I was able to get those. So for the amulet, what you want is obviously physical, strength, either cooldown or vitality, and thorns. So it's gonna take some time to craft your Hellfire amulet, but anyone with a nice passive and physical damage, and it's gonna roll strength anyways, is nice. I kept vitality and not thorns since I had a crappy primary affix. Preferred vitality for the toughness, and I'll get to that with the Heart of Iron. But I said to myself, you know what? If I can get 1,000 vitality or close to 1,000, and 300% of that is about 3,000 thorns. It's a good payoff with offense and defense, so it's pretty nice. Vitality or cooldown would be important. As long as you are around, I'll get to that magic number of 61% of cooldown, which is what you would want in order to cycle your bombardment with your convention of elements. So those are the items. Um, the skills right now, I'm going to explain to you. So you want iron skin, reflective skin. You want sea charge, spike barding. I use condemn vacuum. Um, condemn vacuum, like I mentioned before, with the strong arms, allows you to knock back enemies, and also groups them together. So whenever you're grouping enemies together, you're maximizing area damage with your bombardments, and everything is clumped up together. So things die a lot quicker whenever you're doing that. So I'll show you the playstyle when I'm going to do a quick Greater Rift in order to explain to you what I mean by that. Akarat's Champion for the damage buff increase, and also for the second life that you can get with Akarat's Champion, which comes in really handy since it heals you back to full health also. So that's really nice to use. Shield Glare Divine Verdict for the 20% damage increase, and for crowd control. And obviously your main source of damage will be Bombardment Barrels of Spike, which is the main attack that you'll be using. For the passives, Fervor, since you're using a one-handed weapon, gives you 15% cooldown. Lord Commander, which lowers your bombardment cooldown by 35%. Finery, for increased toughness and increased damage of strength, based on strength. I'm using Indestructible, since I have I'll show you my Hellfire Amulet, what I have. I have the Iron Maiden. So if I showed you Iron Maiden, what it gives you increased thorns by 50%. So all that together would be the build itself. In terms of stats, if you're pushing higher Greater Rifts, higher than 75, or even if up to 80, I would say, you don't need to put diamonds in your armor. But the higher you push, the more toughness is an issue. So I would recommend putting diamonds on all your pieces. What you would want is thorns at about 275 or above. So try to maximize thorns. So there are 4 ways to maximize thorns on your character. Number 1 is on your weapon, putting in topaz maximizes thorns that way. The other one is Boyarsky's chip, which maximizes thorns based on the rank of your of your gem. The other way is to have thorns on your items. If you can prioritize shoulders, your amulet, chest, a belt, and the shield, that's ideal. The rest is, I mean, if you can get thorns on all those other items, that's even better. But it's not as important as the stats themselves. So rings, for instance, recommend rolling cooldown and not thorns on them. And on your, if you can get defensive stats, that's even better. So you can survive higher, greater rifts. And the last way of getting thorns is through your Heart of Iron. So Heart of Iron, your thorns is based on your vitality, not your life. So life is irrelevant. It's your vitality that dictates how much thorns you're gonna get. So if you, for instance, I had a Aquila Cuirass with 15% life on it, it's not gonna give you thorns. It's the vitality that gives you thorns. So make sure you you get vitality if you can, and thorns. Obviously, if you can get it also, that's even better. So those are the ways to maximize your thorns. Once again, about 275,000. 275,000 is, I would say, the minimum in order to start pushing higher graded rifts, and more is better. So gems now. Gems would be, as mentioned before, Boyarski's Chip, Bane of the Trapped, for the added damage bonus that you'll get whenever you're around enemies. And for the Rift Guardian, really useful, Bane of the Stricken. Some use Bane of the Powerful. Bane of the Powerful is nice, but Bane of the Stricken allows you to get that 25% damage increase on the Rift Guardian. And also, whenever you're targeting elites, the increased damage based on the number of attacks that you'll make on them is going to increase the damage output, so that's always nice. So either Bane of the Powerful or Bane of the Stricken is the good option. These two here are mandatory. So I'll hop on a quick Greater Rift 70 and show you the playstyle of this build, and explain to you, ideally play by play if I don't get too into the Rift itself. But I think I should be okay enough in order to explain to you how to manage this build. So Greater Rift 70. Oh, so good Rift. So what you want is, obviously you'll start by targeting enemies. You want to shield glare them and use your convention of elements in order to cycle and attack with your bombardment. As you can see here, I'm almost done with this elite. So I'm a bit distracted, but I'll show you a better usage of Condemn. So right now, stuck with my convention of elements. So I'm gonna wait for convention of elements. I'll start Condemn. You see here, popped in my my Condemn. Speed pylon, completely useless. So already killing elites, getting some good advancement on the Greater Rift. So hopefully the second floor will be nice. Okay, not too bad. I can survive that. So let's try to find some elites. No elites, but let's pop in Condemn. Ah, an elite right there. Pop in Shield there. Put in Akarat's champion. You can see here my absorb shield allows me to survive. Now it's gone. Akarat's champion is on, so that's not a problem. Try to find another elite. There's an elite. Start condemn. Shield glare. Pop on. Your bombardment. There we go. Another elite gone. Try to find some more enemies. You see here, I use condemn to clump up enemies together. There's another elite. Crowd control with shield glare. Pop in condemn, everything's clumped up together. Shield glare and then cast in a bombardment. As you can see here, you're doing massive damage. Killing almost everything instantly. This is a 75, really easy. I had another globe. Oh, there's another elite. There we go. It's gone. They're really fun. So just coming back, my Camtasia stopped working, but no more space on my hard drive. Way to go. Anyways, so I'll try to finish this rift. Navigate through once again. Just a small maze. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Some elites. No problem. They're dead. This is the door. Not the door. Pop in condemned. Everything's cool. Clumped in together. This is trash, I don't need that. So, I carry on. Some elites. Pop in condemn. Elite just died. Channeling, that's fun. Concentrated, some elites right there. Completely overkill right now, but whatever. I'm gonna kill them anyways. Alright. So for the Rift Guardian, you can't really use condemn on it. So I'm gonna wait for the physical to pop on. You can see here damage, damage, damage. Almost dead after one shot. Quick shield glare. And he's gone. So yeah, really easy. Hope you like the playstyle. Sorry, I was a bit concentrated, but hopefully you can learn from this and start pushing greater rifts. And see you next time. Alright.